What's happening, everybody? See, y'all pulled up in here early. I saw somebody in the chat early. I knew it had to be here to learn and share up in the chat early. What's happening? If y'all are pulling up on IG, go to YouTube, youtube.com/the new TLR. If you're pulling up on IG, go to YouTube. I just opened up my Ninja Trader, and that's the first time I've looked at the market since about 2:30, about 2:30, 2:45. Um, Let me see who up in here. Here learning shit. I said that. Red, what's up, Red? Ramon. Oh no, that's Raymond. That's a is that what's that? Yeah, that's Roman. That's Roman. That ain't Ramon. That's Roman. All right, Roman. Kareem. You know I got the ability to block people. Uh, I got the ability to block people, Kareem. Brittany, you say you missed today's action. What's up? What's up? What's up is that just based off the price action and based off what's going on in the market, uh, feel like the bell's running out of steam. Feel like the bell's running out of steam. What's up, Dominique? What's up, Chris? I see a lot more numbers than I see names in the chat. I guess y'all don't want me to shout y'all. Y'all don't want to hear me run my mouth today. Let's get right into it then, man. Anybody on IG, pull up the YouTube. YouTube.com/the new TLR. Speaking of the new TLR, if you go to the new TLR in any web browser, it'll take you to the site. Take you to the merch site. That's how you can support me financially if you feel like I deserve money. If you don't feel like I deserve money, that's fine. Just click the like button. It's on one of these corners right here. It's either there somewhere or it's either here somewhere. It's on one of them corners. Click the like button and then share it with a cousin. That's all I ask you to do. That's all I really want you to do. I made the merch shop because people said they wanted some of the merch. So the merch is out there if you want to buy the merch. Click a super chat if you want to click a super chat. But the most important thing to do is click that like button and share it with a cousin, because I want to get all this information to as many cousins as possible for the free 99. Speaking of the free 99, that's why I do that. For anybody who don't know me, anybody pulling up on the replay, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr. I get on Al Gore's internet every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I talk about the price action in the market. I started Tim's Tidbits by sharing everything that's in my little noggin. Open up my noggin, pulled out everything I had to give, and now that I done pulled out everything that I had to give, now I just get on the internet every day and I talk about the price action my desire is to show you how I do it day to day. Every class I ever took, I never had anybody sit down and show me how they did it day to day. They showed me all the theoretical stuff. They showed me how it would have worked in the past. They showed me if I would have been back there doing this, I could have made that. Nobody never showed me how to do it in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I try to share mindset and the way I'm looking at the market in the hopes to help another cousin in their trade and investing journey. If you like that, click the like button and share it with a cousin. Let's get into it, man. I forgot to share my screen. Let me share my screen. There it is. There it is. I got it on 5-minute candles. So we looking at the detail, right? Let's look at the 60-minute candles. Let's go up. We're gonna look at the 60-minute candles like we always do it this time. Now see right here? Yeah, see right here? After the CPI numbers came out, what do we do? What did we do? What did we do? We do nothing. We didn't make a new low. We didn't make a new high. Right? This the CPI counter right here. That right there is the CPI. Well, this ain't, yeah, because the CPI, when the CPI came out, we was all the way up here. We were all the way up here at 38.69.25, give or take a tick or two, right? Because just before CPI, we started to push up, and then when CPI dropped, the market went all the way down to 337.52 when the CPI came out. So we pushed up, took everybody out that had any stops up here, left this buy side liquidity up there, left it alone. They said, guess what? I ain't gonna touch that buy side yet. I'm gonna leave that buy side there, right? Dropped it like it was hot, took out everybody that was resting up under here, reset the whole board for the day, wiped off everybody's chess pieces and reset the board for the whole day. And one fell swoop, all of this happened within 5 minutes. All right? Want to see? Let me show you. See that? Look at this here. All of that happened within that 1 5-minute candle right there. Everything. Reset everybody. We went up, well, let's say 10 minutes, because we went up on this candle. And then when the numbers came out, we came down on that candle. Took everybody out the game, to the upside, to the downside, reset the whole chessboard, knocked everybody pieces off, reset the whole chessboard, and then slowly climbed up for the rest of the day, got back positive right here, looking like we was fun to do some damn, looked like we were fun to just keep on going up because we came back. Remember this big old 15-minute fair value gap? I was like, I don't think I should mark that out. That's so ridiculously big. I said that this morning. We slowly just repriced all the way back up, almost to the top of it, right? And then right around here, around 2 o'clock, right, the Atlanta Fed got on the TV and said 1% is on the table for a rate hike. 1% is on the table for the July, and the market did not die. Guess what the algos did? The algos just repriced it back down, right down here. And I want to say it might be like a little 1 minute fair value gap or something that it came down to. Let's see. I think it might be a 1 minute fair value gap that it came down to. 2 o'clock right here. So it died for like 1 minute. Got a breaking structure right there. Right? Came right down to here. Then it kept selling down. Then it finally made the bottom right down here at these lows here. And it didn't even make it to that fair value gap right there. That's the fair value gap I thought it made it to. But looked like the only thing it did was give you a deep discount if you miss this trade off of this breaker right here. It gave you a deep retracement. Right? Let's see how much of a retracement. Let's see if that was an OTE retracement off that breaker trade if you missed it right there. Speaking of that breaker trade, I'll break it down in a minute because I ain't back testing breakers. I'm just practicing them in live. I ain't taking no trades on them. So what I do, just a little bit past 80%, give or take. If you took an OTE trade based off this right here, you took a couple ticks of heat, you know what I'm saying, then took back off. Right there, you'd have been all right. So I get into why I set up that little breaker thing right there. I was checking out my breakers. I couldn't take no trade off it because one, I ain't trading, and two, I was out playing Super Dad. I had to go pick up Timothy from football practice. Then later I had to go pick up Christopher from tennis practice and all that right there. So let me talk about this breaker trade, and then I'll get into my thoughts on what's going on with this stupid market, man. Okay, so I've been practicing my breakers, and on this 5 minute right here, let me see. I had to go get Timothy at 11:30, so we had to be somewhere around these two red candles right here. Cause I know we was on a red candle when I marked the breaker out. It was after this swing high. I know it was after this swing high. So it was somewhere around here. It was because this swing high was the last step and last piece of the puzzle for me. Right? So here we go. We was over here, right? And we made a swing low right here. Right? If y'all let me make the wicks fat for y'all. Only thing I'm doing is just breaking down, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking y'all through my learning breakers journey. So that when I start trading breakers, I don't want to hear nobody saying, Tim, can you break down breakers again for me? I'm learning it right now. Go back and look at the video that PDub and Lex did. Get off my live asking me that. Yeah. So here it go right here. So we came in on this 5-minute candle right here. Remember what I said? Somebody put a 1 in the chat if y'all was on the lunch you called the retracement this morning. I did. I don't remember that. I'm almost 50. I don't be remembering stuff that far back. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all was on the spur of the moment lunchtime lesson. If you was on the spur of the moment lunchtime lesson, if y'all still pulling up on IG, go to YouTube, youtube.com/the-new-TLR. Hey, shout out to Professor. What's up, Professor? Professor, pull up on YouTube, youtube.com/the-new-TLR. Hey, put a 1 in the chat if y'all was on the spur of the moment lunchtime lesson, right? Remember what I said on the lunchtime lesson. For anybody who missed the lunchtime lesson, I'm gonna give it to you in a nutshell. I'm gonna go full screen just so you can look me in my eyes, even though I'm a little bit sleepy. Don't focus so hard on the setup, right? Don't focus so hard on the setup. The setup is just a small piece of the puzzle. Every piece of the puzzle is small, but it's very important. You need every piece of the puzzle to make the trade, the investment, whatever you want to do, make it work, right? So we get so focused on the setup. We get so focused on how to trade a breaker, how to trade trend lines, how to trade patterns, how to trade order blocks, how to trade fair value gaps, how to trade support and demand, supply and demand, how to trade support and resistance. We get so caught up in the setup, right? We forget that the setup is just a piece of the puzzle. Click, 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 click. Put it all together. Got a fist. There you go. So, number 1, the narrative. Understand the narrative. You need to know what the narrative is. You know what I'm saying? What's the narrative of the market right now? Are we in high inflationary periods? Is everything being baked in already? Are people starting to, you know what I'm saying, shift focus from this to that? What's the narrative of the market, right? Then once you understand the narrative of the market, what people talking about, what's the bias? You know what I'm saying? We got the narrative. We know we got the narrative, right? We know what they talking about economically. We know what they talking about, you know what I'm saying, fiscally. We know what we talk. It's earnings season. They looking at earnings. They looking at guidance. We know the narrative now. What's the bias? Are we in a bullish bias? Are we in a bearish bias? Understand the bias, right? Then once you know the narrative, the bias, then you start looking for the setup. Because you could be looking for a setup, you know what I'm saying, all day long, but if you don't understand the narrative and the bias, you can see your setup all day long, and then it be blowing through your setup, and you like, oh man, what am I doing wrong? Every time I get, you ain't doing nothing wrong. You just don't understand the narrative and the bias. You trying to make your setup work. You know what I'm saying? You trying to go short when you should be going long. You're trying to go long when you should be going short. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand why you're buying or selling. Understand the narrative, understand the bias, and then look for the setup. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. Now that I said that, that was the lunchtime lesson and the condensed version. That was the condensed version. Now, with that being said, the narrative. You know, the narrative been inflation forever. You know what I'm saying? The market regurgitating is regurgitating now. All the is full. The esophagus going to burning, the acid reflux acting up. tired of hearing about inflation. All the inflation stuff is pretty much starting to get baked in. Well, Tim, look at that big red candle. How can you say it's starting to get baked in? I'm glad you asked that question, little Timmy Rogers, because when them CPI numbers came out, right, the algos went crazy like they're supposed to because it was super hot. It was super hot. Well, we like 9% right now. Stupid inflation, right? The core, it wasn't that bad, but it was stupid hot. The overall was stupid hot, right? So the market sold off mammoth. But once the algos stopped doing their thing, the market started recovering. The market started recovering. Now, turn your attention back to last month when the CPI numbers came out and we gapped down mammoth. We kept tumbling, we gon' fall. We kept on falling down. Last month when the CPI numbers came out hot, we gapped down mammoth. You know what I'm saying? Tumbled like this right here, and then we kept falling. Hey, somebody catch Spalene. She gone. Gone. Spalene was gone. But today, it fell off a cliff, and then it started recovering. It started recovering. And believe you me, if the Atlanta Fed wouldn't have got on TV and said that 1% is on the table, like, cause Canada just hit them with 1%. So as soon as Canada hit them with 1%, the rumor mill set on fire. Are we gonna do 1%? You think we gonna do 1%, John? Then the Atlanta Fed get on TV and said 1% on the table. But look what the market did. This right here when they said it at 2 o'clock. Look at that. We only came down right there. It ain't die. It ain't keep selling off. Cause the market done digested all of that inflation stuff. The market done digested all the inflation stuff. The market trying to make a bottom. Is this the bottom? I ain't saying this the bottom, but the market trying to make a bottom, right? You gotta think about it. Think about the risk to reward. Think about the risk to reward for the big dogs. How much more down? Is it more upside for the big dogs or more downside for the big dogs? It's a whole lot more upside. Cause how much more, what else bad news is out there? You gotta think about it like this right here. This is what the experts be talking about. I know I done got all off on a tangent. I'm supposed to be talking about this breaker right here. But this is all the stuff in the mind of little Timmy Rogers of why I marked out this breaker. See there? Narrative. Know the narrative. This the narrative part of it, right? So what else bad news can we get? You know what I'm saying? We got horrible CPI last month. We got horrible PPI last month. We got horrible CPI this month. But this time when we fell off the cliff, we started recovering. Last month when we fell off the cliff, we kept sliding, right? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow gonna be a real telltale sign. If we get horrible PPI numbers, you know what I'm saying? And we don't just die forever. That's a surefire sign to little Timmy Rogers that the market trying to make a bottom, the market ready to go back up. I'll get into that a little bit later. So the bad news, like the experts, I like to call them, the gurus, I like to call them, the people that I go to the internet and try to find my information from. They say when bad news can't make the market drop, good news will make the market skyrocket. And right now, bad news ain't making the market drop no more. Bad news wicking people out. That ain't nothing but like a stop loss hunt. That's running stops. Stops to the top, stops to the bottom. That's all we did this morning. Stops to the top, stops to the bottom, and started recovering. That's it. A little bit more bad news came out. The algos used that to reprice down to where they wanted to go and then push back up. You see what I'm saying? I ain't did nothing. Then at the end of the day, start taking a little profit off the table. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting ready to go into PPI, getting ready to go into earnings. So they dropped it down, got a little discount, came back up, made a profit. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Everybody that was bearish and wanted to go short and make a little money on for the big boys, when it tanked today, they made money. It went into a discount. They bought. It went back up, made a little bit more money, and sold off at the end of the day, getting ready for PPI tomorrow. Right? That was the narrative that was going through my head. The bad news ain't killing the market. We died on the information, and then we started recovering. You know what I'm saying? So boom, let's look at the recovery, what we was doing. We made a low, came up here high, made a low, come up here high, right? The lows just going up right here. Then we made this swing low right here. Boom, we made a swing low, we made a swing high, and then we made a lower swing low right there. Boom, it's lower than that one. That swing low lower than that one. Let me draw it out for you. Right? So we made low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. When we got here, right? When we got here, we made a low right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me make that arrow fatter. I'm gonna make it what color can I make it so y'all can see it? Something that's gonna stand out on top of something that's gonna, it'd be hard for stuff to stand out. Let me see if red will stand out. Red might not stand out. Let me see if red will stand out. It's kind of hard to see the red on top of the red candles. Blue. White. Let's try white. Y'all can kind of see that. I'll just make it real fat. There you go. I just make the candle real fat. There you go. So, turn the snap off so I can move it how I want to move it. Boom. So, we made a low, right? We made a low there, because we was making, I'm put it on the tip. Because we made a low, made a high, made a high and low. You know what I'm saying? Right here. So, we came down, we made a low, right? Made a low. Then we turned around. God dog it. We turned around, we made a high right there. Right? We made a low, we made a high right there, right? So then we made a lower low, right? The formula coming together. Made a lower low. This ain't exactly how ICT broke it down. This kind of like how PDub broke it down, Lex broke it down, right? This how PDub and Lex broke it down, and this is what I've been practicing on, right? So boom, made the lower low. So we made a low, we made a high, then we made a lower low, meaning we ran up under this low right here, right? AKA taking out stops, whatever you want to call it, right? And then after we made that lower low, right? Boom, we made a higher high right there. Eventually went all the way up to there. Either high. I don't care which one you want to use. We made a higher high. Let's use that one. Boom. We made a higher high there. Okay. So we made the low, the high, the lower low, and the higher high. So you come to the high right there after this leg right here. You come to the high in the middle. You come to the high in the middle, pretty much. So low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Come to that high right there in the middle, right? In between the start and the finish, right? And then no matter what color that candle is, that's the breaker candle right there. That's the potential breaker candle right there, right? So, and if you understand the narrative, if you understand the bias and all of that right there, now the setup is a higher probability setup. Now, let's look at the stuff that's helping this be an even higher probability setup, right? This is one I would have taken if I would have been here to take it. And the reason why is because I got the narrative of the inflation ain't tanking the market. The bad news is not tanking the market. That's the narrative. The bad news is not tanking it. It made it sell off, take out stops, but it's not tanking. It's working its way back up. Right? What's the bias? It's a red day, but the bias is now bullish. It's trying to fight its way up. it has come from here all the way up to here. And when I say all the way up to here, we have broke back through 1, 2 breaks in structure. We you know what I'm saying? We have right there, this candle right here is a closure above that break in structure, and this candle right here is a full closure above this break in structure. So y'all know how I treat it. If I close above the break, the market's saying I want to go that way right now. So it's bullish, right? So the narrative is the market, the bad news not tanking the market. The bias is it's bullish right now. Now I'm looking for the setup. Here's the setup. Low, high, lower low, higher high, the high in the middle, that's the breaker right there. What made it a higher probability for me? We got a fair value gap right here sitting right on top of the breaker. What would have really made it even more higher if this fair value gap was inside the breaker. If like half up was in the breaker, half up was out, or if it was like all the way inside the breaker, it'd have made it even more juicy in my mind. But I got a fair value gap right there sitting right on the breaker, right? Then let's check the fibs. I ain't even checked the fibs on this one here. I stopped at the fair value gap in the breaker, right? Oh, look how juicy it is now. I ain't even checked this earlier. Now I'm real mad I wasn't here to take the trade. Equilibrium is right there at the top of the breaker. Right at the top of the breaker, just a smidgen below for that leg right there. So that was an A+ setup right there. I don't care how you, if it wasn't an A+, it was a strong A+. It don't get much better than that, right? And then you see what the result was. I wasn't here to trade it. I left around 11:15, 11:20 to go get Junior. And you see right here, it came back down, went just below the top of the breaker right there, filling this full fair value gap. And then it went all the way back to green. So if you took it off the top of the breaker, which was 479, 37.94, 75. Golly, Tim, get your mind together. And then your target, let's say your target was this swing high right here. That's your target. That low-hanging fruit. Go for the low-hanging fruit. Don't try to go for the home run. The target, this swing high right here. You could have went for a higher target, but always go for the low-hanging fruit first, right? That high is, what's that high? Let's just use the New York close because it's right there, the New York close. I don't feel like looking it up. So the New York close is 38.24. 38.24 minus, what did I say that was? 37.94.75. 37.94.75. Oh, wait. A 29 piece. 29 piece. Oh my God, I'm sick. Oh my God, I'm sick. I could have had a 29 piece. Because I would have took that trade. I ain't even going to hold you because everything played out. But narrative, bias, then look for the setup. That help you with high probability setups. Don't try to force a fair value gap everywhere you see it. Don't try to force a breaker everywhere you see it. Don't try to force the trend lines everywhere you see it. Narrative, bias, then setup. That's all I got to say on that. Now, let's talk about Spilene and why I feel like the bear's running out of steam. Let's go look at Spilene and figure out why I feel like the bear's running out of steam. I didn't have to put that down. I need to open up another tab. What y'all talk about in the chat before I move over to Spilene? What's going on in the chat? 100. Pause. Pause. What I said need a pause. What I said need a pause. Oh, now you finally. Look here. You sound Rhonda. Don't be hitting me with the PDub. PDub be, hey. PDub be saying the same thing. Get off my live, Rhonda. I ain't no, hey, look here. Y'all better stop hanging out with stacks now. I'm gonna start blocking y'all. Y'all know I don't eat no flats. Can you use the fib one more time with that breaker? I didn't use the fib with the breaker. I used the fib with the price leg. I always use my fib on the price leg to see what equilibrium is. That's how I use my fibs, right? I use my fibs to see what equilibrium is on the price leg. I was on 5 minutes. So what I do when I'm using my fibs, right? When I'm using my fibs, I'm looking at the price leg, the last price leg before the retracement start, right? So that's this price leg here. This is the low of the price leg. This is the high of the price leg, right? So I take my fibs and I take my fibs whichever direction I'm going. If I'm going up, I stretch the fib in the direction I'm trying to go. It really don't matter which way you stretch it, but it just, if you stretching in the direction that you're trying to go, it can give you like targets to shoot for, right? 0, that's your first target. That's your low-hanging fruit. -50, that's your second target, right? And then 100, that's your stretch goal. You know what I'm saying? That's how I set my fibs up. I get that from ICT, how I set it up, all of these numbers down here too. But the equilibrium that I be looking at on any price leg, the 50% line is the division between discount and premium market, right? So if you buying up, right, on this price leg, once you get above this 50%, you're in a premium market now. When you come back down this 50%, you're in a discount market for this price leg, right? I use my fibs on my price leg just to see what a discount market is. I don't trade OTE no more. I don't trade 62% retracement. I don't trade no retracements based off the fibs. The only thing I use the fib for is so I can see where is the equilibrium in price, because the algos have the tendency to go to the premium, to the discount, to the premium, to the discount, to the premium, to the discount. That's how the algos tend to move. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I want to see where the discount is. And that's why I said when I just checked the premium to discount on here, I didn't check it earlier because I was like just trying to find the breaker, and I didn't really look for the premium discount on that price leg. But when I just put it on here, when I just put it on there, I noticed that the breaker combined with the fair value gap combined with the premium discount, with equilibrium right at the breaker, that made it a A+ setup for me, because I had confluence. I had the breaker, I had the fair value gap, and I had the equilibrium all in the same spot. That's what made it an A+ setup for me. That's why I used the I didn't use the fib just cause the breaker. I was using the fib to see what equilibrium was. I know you didn't ask me all that, Perry, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't explain stuff good. Your mind blown. You finally got what, Sonya? What you finally got? That's just made so much sense, man. I appreciate that. I don't know what I said, what made sense, but I appreciate that. Stacks, you influencing people out here, Stacks. You started this with that doggone Chick-fil-A sauce nasty. You started this. Now you got Here to Learn and Share, my most faithful supporter, talking about flats when she know I don't eat flats. You got Rhonda out here talking some, now you looking for breakers. Hey, man, these all just jokes, man. I appreciate y'all. In terms of narrative, you said the market wasn't tanking. What would tanking have looked like? Do you look for I don't look for specific percentages, but I'm glad you asked that. Let's go over to Spylene. We're going to let Spylene answer that for you. Spylene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Okay, this is what tanking looked like right here. This is last CPI right here, right? Either this candle or this candle. I think this was inflation. This was CPI. This was jobs, this was CPI, this was PPI, something. Anyway, we had bad jobs, we had high CPI, and we had high PPI, right? This is tanking, right? Bad jobs, we opened here. Let me get I get a line. Bad jobs. No, I get an arrow. Let me get an arrow. Y'all know I don't know what an arrow at. What an arrow at on here? Oh, there it is. Right. So bad jobs number, right? we gap down, right? Gap down mammoth. Remember when I be talking about, man, we gap down mammoth. We gap down, boom, gap down, open here. The job numbers were bad. Where did the market go? Tank, right? Boom, bad CPI numbers. Gap down, mammoth. Look at this gap right here. Hey, why my arrow ain't on the top? Gap down, mammoth. Market open here from a gap down. Where the market went? Tank, right? There we go, we tanking. Let me put this stuff in front. Why this ain't staying in front? Visual order, bring to front. There you go. Visual order, bring to front. Boom, right? PPI numbers came out. PPI numbers came out. Bad numbers, right? Horrible numbers. We gap down, mammoth. Gap down, open right here. Where the market went? Tank. You see what I'm saying? So on the bad news last month, we gap down, mammoth, tanked. Gap down, mammoth, tanked. Gap down, mammoth, tanked. Right? Today, we had terrible CPI numbers. Gap down, mammoth. This is where we closed at. Gap down, mammoth. Where the market went? Up. The market went up. Got all the way back positive. Got all the way back. Was barely any selling. Look at that. Look how much selling went on today. Just a little blip on the radar. Just a little blip on the radar. And the rest of the day, we went up. We got all the way back up to here. And then at the end of the day, we sold off a little bit, taking a little profit. Little profit taking. So at the end of the day, even though this was a down day, this was a negative day, I give this day to the bulls. Because the bad news did not tank the market like it did last time. The bad CPI last time, the bad job numbers tanked the market. CPI numbers tanked the market. PPI numbers. Look how far we gapped down on the bad PPI numbers. Gap down. How much of a percentage we gap down right there? We gap down 2.5% on the SPY off of the bad PPI numbers, right? We gap down 1.6% off of the bad CPI numbers. And every time we gap down, the market tanked. Why? Because bad news was tanking the market. Now, lo and behold, today, bad news, we gap down, but it ain't tanked the market. The market rebound. So it ain't the fact of I'm looking for a certain percentage. It's just like what the market did today. The market didn't tank. Speaking of didn't tank, let's look at a weekly real quick on spot. Look at this here. Look at this here. With such bad news, right? With such bad news. Let's go back. Let's go back to the daily. Go back to the daily real quick. All right. So we got CPI, PPI. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. That's when we gapped all the way down there. All right. So coming back to the weekly. Look at this right here. With such horrible news, right? Looming. We still haven't been able to make a new weekly low. We had terrible CPI numbers. Still ain't make a new weekly low. Atlanta Fed came out and said 1% is on the table. The market dropped. The market didn't even really drop. It was already in a retracement. It didn't drop like them CPI when them CPI numbers hit. Right? When them CPI numbers hit, the algos tanked everything. Right? But the market stopped and started going back up. Say, hold on, algos, y'all overreacting. Let's get this thing back up a little bit. See what I'm saying? So all this bad news did not make us tank. We gapped down, but we got a little small little rally today. That's what I meant by the bad news ain't tanked the market. So looking at Spylean, we still ain't made a new weekly low, right? We're outside of the middle of the road, but we close enough for government work that kind of still got us in the middle of the road. Because ain't nobody made on a weekly level, as you see, right? So last week, all we did was make an inside bar right there. This week, we still got we inside we inside the inside bar. We made an inside bar, and now this week we inside the inside bar, right? So looking at this right here, when you just going sideways like this right here, that's consolidation. Shout out to cousin Zay. Zay call it coiling. Zay say when you going sideways like this right here for this long, we've been going for 1, 2. Well, I ain't gonna count this one because that was like a little rally. But so after the rally, we've been 1, 2. This the third week. Zay say the spring be coiling up. Zay say the spring be coiling up. So whichever side it pop out of, to the down or to the upside, that thing, that thing gonna shoot off. And I already know y'all like that, so I'm gonna do it again. So whichever way it shoot off, it's gonna go. We just been consolidating. So we haven't made a new weekly low, even though we having horrible news. So tomorrow, with this PPI, that's gonna tell a lot. That's gonna tell a lot. I'm not saying we not done selling off. Shout out to homie Zay that always be telling me to peep the volume and peep the So off of 2 days, we almost got the same amount of volume as last week, just off of 2 days this week. No, 3 days. Today 3 days, right? What's the day? Wednesday. So off of 3 days, we done almost matched volume from last week already. Let's look at the moving averages. Right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's look at this. Remember earlier when I was talking about risk to reward? Right? So based off how Spylean be trading, right? Let me reset this. Based off how Spylean be trading, right? It pretty barring a pandemic, it usually bounces off that 200. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like going back, way back here. Like it flirted with it right there. It got up under it a little bit there. That's way back in like 2010 or so. But here we go. Every time we get close to it, it bounces off of that 200. Barring a pandemic. Even with the pandemic, it didn't stay under that for too many weeks. So it bounces off of it, right? So when we came down and we touched that 200, this for all the EMA traders. When we touched that 200, what do? We bounced up off of it, right? So now, put it in the mindset of people who trade EMAs, right? If you trade an EMA, right? When you took this right here, if you went long right here, right? If you trade EMAs and you know EMAs, you looking for at least that 20 or that 50. If you went long at the 200, you looking for at least that 20 or that 50. 9 times out of 10, you looking for that 50 if you went long at 200. But you looking for at least that 20. You know what I'm saying? If you went long down here. So right now, if you looking for a retest to come back and retest that to see if, because by the time we get back down to the 200, you know what I'm saying? The 200 gonna be starting to catch up, because when you consolidating, that give the moving averages time to catch up with the candles. So if just say we consolidate a little bit, we don't break out this week, and then next week we start deciding we want to start breaking out even to the downside, right? The 200 gonna be moved up a little bit. Just say the 200 be came up to 366. Just say the 200 moved up to 366. We can still come down and test the 200 again and keep this right here without making a new low. And then make a higher weekly low down here. You see what I'm saying? Make a higher weekly low down here and then bounce back up off of it, heading back up here to this 20 or to this 50 for any, you know what I'm saying, all the EMA traders out there, anybody that went long, because historically, when the Spylean get there, barring the pandemic, when it get there, it bounces up off it, even when it retested. Even when you see right here, we bounced off, got a retest, boom, bounced off. 3 weeks later, retest, went up. Bounce off, retest. Even if we get a retest this time, looking at the risk to reward, man, when I was talking about risk to reward, right? How much more downside, knowing that the SPY typically bounces off the 200-day based off history, right? How much more downside do you see as opposed to upside looking at the 20 and the 50? It's just going to the 20. How much more upside? It's much more upside reward than it is downside reward, knowing that the SPY typically bounces off the 200, and we already down from the high. We closed down 21%. We closed down 21%. We still in bear territory, and the bears running out of steam, called bad news ain't tanking the market. So bad news not tanking the market. They already came out and said 1% on the table, right? That's the narrative. So imagine they already saying 1% on the table. Just imagine if they get everybody in the mind frame of, oh, we fun to get that 1%. Oh, and then look at the volume on the daily. Look at the volume on the daily. We got more volume today because of that retracement. You see what I'm saying? Look at the volume on the daily right here compared to over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over the last 7 trading days, this is the most volume we have gotten over the last 7 trading days. You know what I'm saying? Today, off of a gap down retracement. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say the bears running out of gas. Even though we got a chance to close below the middle of the road, I still feel like they run out of gas because the bad news not tanking the market. Can we still go down? Yes, we can still go down. But it's starting to feel like the momentum is shifting. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Imagine they get everybody thinking about a 1% rate hike, right? They get everybody focused on 1% rate hike, right? And then the earnings come in, and the earnings just not as bad as we expected. Everybody expect everything to be terrible. The earnings come in just not as bad as we expected. Not even good, just not as bad as we expected. Then they come out there and hit us with a 75% rate hike, or even a 50%. I mean, 0.5, right? A 0.5, right? 0.5%. I said 50, 0.5%. All not as bad as expected. 75 or less would be considered. All of that would be considered good news. You know what they say? When bad news can't take the market down, good news can make it skyrocket. Am I talking about all-time new highs? No. But I'm talking about coming out of this consolidation. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I think that's all I got on the price action, man. I've been running my mouth a long time. I just want to focus more on the narrative today because we get so caught up on the setups. I want to spend more time on the narrative. You know what I'm saying? News trumps charts. So I ain't traded nothing all week. I ain't traded a thing all week, partly because I've been busy. I've been doing super dad thing. Let me put the link in the chat. As customary, I want to put the link in the chat. If anybody got anything they want to ask, if anybody want to pull up and share anything, did I do that right? I felt like I hit the wrong button. If anybody want to pull up and share anything, if anybody want to pull up and ask anything, the link is in the chat. I put the link in the chat. When I'm about to go through the chat now, see if y'all saying anything. But like I say, I just want to focus on the narrative today because we get so caught up on the magic setup. We get so caught up on shout out Lex. Lex has shared something today talking about the people always trying to hit home runs. The people are trying to hit home runs. That's not a good thing. No, that's what I asked. Thanks. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. I can't remember what it was, but I got you. I'm with Tim on the flats. Yeah, that's it, man. I don't eat no flats. I eat flats when it ain't no more drumsticks left. You know what I'm saying? I think Rhonda Green was just saying your explanation made sense for her. Oh, made sense for her. Oh, my bad, Rhonda. I jollipies. I thought you was trying to come for me like PDub, because I text PDub today, and then he like, oh, I thought it was forget breakers. That's what he texted me back. Oh, look at you. I thought it was forget breakers. June 10th was CPI for SPY. It was June 10th. Yeah, that second down candle. Yeah, that's what it was. I appreciate that. I kind of remembered it a little bit. I appreciate that, Roshan. I Jalapai's run. I thought you was acting like PDub. I finally understand how breakers combined with fair value gap set up for high price. Oh, okay, yeah. It's about the confluence. You know how people be talking about multi-time frame confluence when they be like if just say if you trade EMAs, right, and just say like your 20 period EMA is pretty much at the same price on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 1-minute, or on the hour, the 15-minute and the 5-minute. They call that confluence on multi-time frames. The EMA is like lining up in the same spot. If you're an EMA trader, you be like, oh, I'm taking this trade because the EMA lining up at the same price on all 3 time frames. That's like multi-level confluence, and it's just different things, like different things I'm looking at. I got a fair value gap, I got a breaker, and I got the equilibrium all in the same spot. That's an A+ setup for me. And I don't even trade breakers. If I just had if I had a breaking structure, which is right there the breaker. But if I had a breaking structure, a fair value gap, and equilibrium all in the same spot, that's an A+ setup for me. That's an A+ setup for me. And it just happened to be an A+ setup using a breaker this time. But if you look at it, it was right at a breaking structure too. So that's really my same setup I always be looking for as an A+ setup, but it's just including, you know what I'm saying, another aspect of looking for breakers. Man, I just taught myself something. Man, you good, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Pulling up late from the nap. Okay, Devin, you ain't old as me. You shouldn't be taking no nap. Champ Smiling. Have I seen that name before? If earn is bad, market tanking for sure. Good earnings, blast off. Yeah, for sure. If cause people expecting horrible earnings. You know what I'm saying? So if the earnings bad, I say we can slide back down to the 200 again on the spot on the daily. Slide back down and retest that 200. But if earnings not as bad as we thought, or let them be good, Charlie, blast off. Houston, prepare for takeoff. That it blast off. There you go. Ping-yow. That's where it's going. Ping-yow. Say it again, Delwood. Ping-yow. Hey, man, that's all I got. I don't see nobody pulling up. I'm about to go figure out what me and the boys gonna eat for dinner. I appreciate y'all, man. Again, if you got anything out of this, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Shout out to homie PDub. I know I told y'all I wasn't gonna be promoting nobody else. Right? I ain't gonna be, but I ain't, hey, this my dog. He done taught me a lot. I know he ain't no scammer. All my videos, right? All my videos, it's a link. The second link in there, the first link say Spider Gang merch, shop Spider Gang merch. The first link, I mean, and then the second link say PDub free content. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you wanna learn about breakers and all kind of other stuff, all kind of important information about looking at the market, PDub got all kind of stuff in there. YouTube, your videos. Where my videos at? Can you woo woo woo? Shooby doo doo doo. Okay, boom. If you look at the thing right there, it say the title, whatever, description, Spider Gang merch. That's that link. PDub free content. Go on there, click on that link right there in the bio, and it's gonna take you to a page that look like this right here. Boom. Introduction to futures. Futures 1, futures 2, futures 3, futures 4, futures 5, red pill, swing trades. Pull up. And stop asking me. Them just jokes, man. But it's out there. What Stack said? What Stack? Chick-fil-A sauce, $3.98 in Walmart. You already know I got me some Chick-fil-A sauce. What? Bring me that Chick-fil-A sauce in here. Same as 13-gallon bags. Got a lot of politics on the county. Yeah, news trumps charts, man. That's why I say news trumps charts. Let the high news events play out before you try to swing trade anything. I ain't been trading nothing this week because I ain't swing trading nothing. And I've been ripping and running with the boys because I ain't had time to try to take no day trades. Every time I pop in, you ask my kids. When I tell, ain't it, Woody? When I see Chick-fil-A sauce, baby. Hey, when we came home today, I'll be like, oh man, it's time to go get Chris already. Oh yeah. Yeah, every time I Chick-fil-A sauce, you see it. You see it. You see it.
By the way, flat's better than drums. So.
Man, get out my room. He gonna talk some flats better than drums. Shout it out. Influencing my doggone son. Hey man, the live over, man. Hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah. I can do the morning. I can do the overnight price action. I got to go get my nephew from the airport in Atlanta tomorrow, but I'll be here to do the overnight price action. And then tomorrow night is discipline over dollars for the kids. So we're gonna be doing the price action recap at 7:30. I think that's it, man. I see y'all in the morning at 9 o'clock. Like I say, click the like button, share this with a cousin. One you like and one you don't like. We want everybody to get this free information. I see y'all in the morning, man. I'm gone. Yep.